So the Daily Wrap-Up crew posts flawed stats. Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense Logic Reason. As always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So black people love to deflect away from personal responsibility, and they, again, just have an allergic reaction to any type of accountability of our bad behavior. One of the ways they try to deflect away from black folks' bad behaviors is trying to hide behind what another group does, right? They'll post stats about what white folks do as basically it's the way of saying, well, we're going to ignore our bad behavior. Instead of dealing with our own bad behavior, we hide it by someone else's bad behavior, as if it's going to fix our bad behavior. Anyway, the Daily Wrap-Up crew reposted some stats that a white woman by the name of Rebekah Jones posted on social media. And the information that they reposted said, and despite making up only 28% of the U.S. population, FBI data shows that white men are 55% of kidnappers, 56% of rapists, 58% of mass shooters, 59% of child porn arrests, 62% of statutory rapists, 63% of prostitution solicitors, 68% of NFA offenders, and 75% of incest perpetrators. Now, I posted a comment in the comment section that said, black men are about 6% of America. What percent of each of those categories do black men commit? Now, where the data is flawed, though, there's a serious flaw in this data, a major flaw in this data. Now, if you want to get information on population data, you'd go to the US Census Bureau. The US Census Bureau collect data, population data. So this is where you would go if you want to find any population stats, such as what percentage of America is made up of white men and what percentages are made up of black females, so on and so forth. Now, the FBI collects crime data. So if you wanted to find any crime stats, you go to the FBI to get it. Now, here's the real problem with these stats is that they're conflating two different agencies who have two different who collect data differently. The US Census Bureau, they collect data based off of race, and all race separately. Whereas if you go to the FBI data, you notice that FBI, if you look at the column, they have no Hispanic column. And of course, I've said this before, they later have a separate tab that you can go to find out data on Hispanics. But the main page, there's no Hispanic data. And the reason why there are no Hispanic data, because they add them to either the white or the black column. So they have what's considered white Hispanics, or basically a Hispanic person. Anybody who is Hispanic, they'll add it to the white column. Now, what's considered black Hispanics, such as Zoe Saldana and singer Joy Villa, they're considered black Hispanics. Now, they add the black Hispanics to the black column, and the rest of it, the overwhelming majority of Hispanics people, add to the white column. So it's like 3-to-1. Like 75% of all Hispanics are considered white Hispanics, so they get added to the white column. That's something that you have to take into consideration when you start looking at FBI statistics. So those numbers are flawed now, because what they did, or what Rebekah Jones did, she compared the stats of the white column of FBI, which basically includes white Hispanics, and she compared all of that to white men in America, which makes up 20% according to her. So that stat is majorly flawed. The only way that you can get an accuracy with this is you also have to add, that what percentage of the population are made up by Hispanic men. If you really truly want to get the full accurate number, because you're giving us You're giving an FBI statistical data that contains whites and Hispanics, but you compare that to only the whites in the population, or white males in the population. So again, that information is absolutely flawed, and this is how you get flawed information and nonsense that coming from the left. Now, in closing though, I would still love to know what percentage of this stuff that black men make up, because they're not going to post that. That's completely leftist in nature. They're not going to post that. And apparently this is one of these apologetic white people running to the forefront to try to basically condemn white people or make black folks look better by condemning white men. But unfortunately, it didn't work. Well, not to me, because I know the truth. Now, if you go to the comment section, you'll see there's a lot of the same nonsense from the same stupid black folks who know absolutely nothing. But in reality, when you know the truth, you know that this information is flawed. Anyway, y'all, that's my 2 cents on this. And as always, until next time.